Boys. Headline. Officers say John Armstrong got into a physical fight with his stepfather during a family game of Monopoly, ending with him chasing his stepfather and his stepsister down the street with a gun.
Okay, wait. So many questions right off the bat. Where?
First of all, I was going to say, I think you shortened the headline because it started with Florida man. Feels like that's where you left out.
Tulsa, Oklahoma is where this man was arrested after family Monopoly game turned violent.
Okay, so that makes it more interesting because if it was Florida, then we would just be like, yeah, okay, move on. That makes sense.
Just another day.
Wouldn't be starting my show off with Florida man. Just wouldn't do it.
Okay. What were the stakes? What was on the line with this game of Monopoly? It's fake money, typically.
Actual homes and money, cash.
Yeah, they're putting their own properties on the line.
Yeah.
So the reason I start the brunch breakdown off with this is because I want to know how intense of a board game player are you? Because I feel like board games bring out the worst in people.
I think they bring out, like, they tell you who of your friends or family is truly competitive to a fault.
Yeah, like you can be, say that you root for a team really hard. You love watching something, but like when you're in it, and it'll show your competitive nature more than anything else. A classic game night. And I have a friend that we all know very well. He will go nameless, but he's really ultra, and he knows he's listening. He knows who he is. He's ultra competitive at Monopoly because he's really good at it. And I could see a scenario in his life where there's a physical altercation at some point. I hope there wouldn't be a gun involved, but I've seen stuff get competitive before. And then you're like, maybe I'm not as bad as I think I am, because there's always somebody that's more competitive than you are at board games, and it makes you hate them. The games, not the person.
Well, see,
I guess not in this case. In this case, there's a gun. So you could call that a little hate.
Listen, there are a couple people who I have grown to hate because of playing categories with them. So like no joke. Like there are some people I have grown to hate, but it's just the first thing I thought about in this was that like my wife is a lot of things, but she is very competitive when it comes to playing board games. Like playing board games or watching Wheel of Fortune on TV. I don't get called dumb more than whenever I'm watching Wheel of Fortune at my house. And so I immediately thought about my wife chasing someone down the street with a gun because they messed up Monopoly.
All right.
Yeah,
noted. I'm not coming to game night at the Dudley.
Don't do it.
Don't bring that up.
Don't do it. I try to avoid it.
And I can Monopoly is one of the games where there's like some people have different rules, a slight variation of a rule here or there. And I feel like that could start a lot of fights with Monopoly, that like you go by a certain rule or whatever, because Monopoly can kind of get complicated if you like truly play it to its truest fashion all the way through. But like I've refused to play Family Feud with my family anymore. We used to play it and now it's off the table. Won't play it, out of the room. It's gotten heated before.
This has been bringing back so many childhood memories. I was definitely like a flip the board, storm out, I'm done playing with you assholes type of kid. And like Katie's family, when we get together, they love to play card games and stuff like that. And I actually almost always abstain from playing any type of like card game because I know I can get competitive and I can get frustrated. And I would just rather not put myself in that position. I don't think I'd flip the board at 35 years old, but I would be flipping it in my head. Yeah, it's interesting. Something that should be so jovial gets people heated.
Yeah.
The fact that you're thinking about flipping the board is exactly why I brought this up. It's just so funny. Like, board games literally just bring the worst in people. Like, the only game that doesn't cause any fights, at least to me, is Uno. Uno causes no fights. Love Uno. No fights. None. It's like you get numbers.
Yeah.
You give people draws, whatever. They end up drawing 12. They're like, damn it, but everybody's happy. Every other game, though, doesn't matter. Candyland, doesn't matter.
Yeah, like the game Sorry, where you're like literally targeting other people. Like, yeah, I can get pretty PO'd on Sorry.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Like, yeah. I've seen some people say some bad things during Trivial Pursuit. Like, it's a lot.
Bro.
In board games.
Bro, Battleship, I get so pissed. I would seriously, I would almost every time convince myself that the other person was cheating in some way, shape, or form. Like, how is it possible on your first shot you got my aircraft carrier? Like, how is that possible? That's ridiculous. You're cheating. Someone's behind me giving you clues. You have a mirror on the other wall that's targeted. I don't know how it's working. I'm getting heated. This is bringing up a lot of bad emotions.
Wow.
Chris is already so mad. This is great. It's the Brunch Breakdown. DD out here in Los Angeles. Chris and Dan are in Pittsburgh. Today on the show, we are unloading some topics that we've been throwing around in our Twitter messages for a while. So it's going to get random today. Also, Chris is building something that he feels like he's been building for like a week, and I need to know what it is. And I got a question for you guys about just building a lot of shit. So anyways, this is going to be a fun Brunch Breakdown. And we have an emergency brunch court also, so I don't know what's going on. So this is a very random brunch because I don't know what is about to happen. Anyways, Dan, let everybody know where they can find us.
Well, since we got a lot to get to here today, I'll keep it short and simple. Anywhere, baby. Anywhere. You find us anywhere. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find the Brunch Breakdown. New episodes. When? Every Wednesday. Hit follow, hit subscribe. Your favorite place. Episodes be ready for you. First thing, Wednesday morning. Take them on the go. Listen to them at your leisure, whenever. Of course, we got some visuals here today, as we do most episodes. And so you're going to want to check out the video episodes to check those visuals out. Full video episodes go up on YouTube and Facebook. Same day, Wednesday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Available on demand anytime you want to watch after that. We're everywhere on social media at Brunch Breakdown. Find us there. Follow us. We follow you back. Last but not least, the Sounds of Brunch playlist exclusively made on Spotify, updated every Friday. We give you what we're listening to this week and the week prior, in case you missed that, all in one lovely double stuffed Oreo playlist called The Sounds of Brunch. Check it out.
Beautiful. All right. And since I tried to skip Chris last week, you get it off your chest, Chris. You're first. Go for it.
Thank you. I really think that we need to stop putting microphones in front of people who shouldn't be speaking into a microphone, or we need to stop putting cameras on people that are in no condition to speak on camera. That's my main thought. I've been thinking this for a while. Like, we had this stuff, I don't know, a month ago or however long it's been, where it was like Kanye was saying stuff. Kyrie was tweeting things, and those were like more, I guess it was like anti-Semitic, potentially hateful, disrespectful, and hurtful to other people. And so I started thinking about it then. And then recently I've seen it's just opened my eyes to how the dumbest thing is what gets the most attention. And I'm not talking about just because your friends retweeted. I'm talking about what goes on CNN or MSNBC or Fox News, or what goes on Sports Center or Good Morning America. It seems like the dumbest thing that happened from yesterday is what we're pushing to everybody. And I don't think, I think that's not good for anybody. This morning when I logged on Twitter, I saw a video of some kid screaming, breaking his computer apart into pieces and crying because the Baltimore Ravens lost a football game. And this thing had been viewed millions and millions and millions of times, and it was retweeted by Pat McAfee and ESPN. And I'm just is this this is the best content we can find? This is this kid in his basement doing this stuff? I don't know, man. I think this is like episode 76 of me ranting about how I dislike social media. And I know it's ironic because I post a million pieces of content to social media a week, and I built a business in part because of social media and the internet. But like, I think it's making us dumber. I don't see, this is not trending in the direction that it should be. And I just think like, I don't know, like, should we be putting microphones in front of these people? Like, is this helping anybody? Is it making anybody smarter? I don't think it is. That's all I have. I was also thinking about ranting about soccer, but no, we're not going to do that today.
Save that for sports brunch. We can all dive in.
But dude, I agree with you. It's so funny because like we are people who do podcasts and post to Instagram and do all these things and have become successful because of certain things, because of social media, right? Like, but man, I hear you, dude. Like sometimes I'm just like, why do you have a microphone? Like, why are you able to? And I think the thing that bugs me out the most is because, of course, we have free speech in this country, and that's great. But I feel like there's just something about someone acting like a doctor that is a lot different than someone spouting out sports takes on a podcast. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I just think that's just, you shouldn't be able to do that. Like, you shouldn't be able to go on to the internet and just have unfounded conspiracy theories about the Holocaust and say them to people in a form and make people think that they're real. Because because honestly, so much stuff is produced. We can do so many things with our phones. We can do so many things with sets and backdrops and all that. And you can make it look like this person actually has a news channel. Mm-hmm. So then you have some person sees this and it's like, well, that person, look how professional he looks. Everything he says is the truth. And I just find that to just be like, I don't know what you do with that because of like freedom of speech, but it's like, it just shouldn't happen. Like, it's weird. I don't get it. And it's like very harmful because a lot of people are dumb and believe everything they see with a professional set.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know, the information superhighway was like, it was a little nicer when we had local roads. It was a little quieter, you know, around here, you know, not as much noise. I think that's what it is. There's too much noise. It's ironic. There's a insurance, of course, of all commercials, TV commercials going around where they're like mimicking a newscast and they're like, all right, let's go to the good news of the day. Cheryl, what did you find? And she's interviewing somebody who like saved with Progressive. And then it goes back to newscaster and they're like, this is the good news of the day. And the reporter's like, this is all we could find. I'm like, this is a little too real. Like they don't do good news. There's no good news out there. There's too many microphones in the wrong places instead of finding something like the Brunch Breakdown. These are 3 microphones where they belong.
That's right. That's right.
Very true.
We would never spread dumb information on this podcast.
Oh, never.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned for Brunch Court in a few minutes.
Dan, get it off your chest.
So football season's kind of we're wrapping up college football season, getting into bowl season. The NFL is still chugging along, and Chris and I are longtime fans and season ticket holders of University of Pittsburgh, Pitt football, as we've proclaimed endlessly on this podcast. And Chris, I haven't had a chance to talk with you about this, so we're just gonna spill out the dirty launry in front of everybody here.
Let's go, Chris and Dan podcast. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's
go.
All
right, I'll leave, guys. Have a good one.
Let's go. Didi, I think you might actually be able to. I don't know what side of the table you're gonna flip to here, but. So we sat in some different seats. Chris had some extra seats that let us sit inside for the last home game. And so we were sitting next to some different people. And it was a very clear reminder to me that there are a few things that are as obnoxious and annoying as high school children comparing their athleticism to teams and athletes that are at elite and higher levels than they are and frankly ever will be. It is so obnoxious beyond belief. I just hadn't been in an environment like that in a long time. And I don't know if, Chris, those are people that sit next to you often, but they were there. They were loud. They were annoying. Like, I wanted to so many times just say, shut up about you thinking that you could have made that block. right there. Okay. I don't need to hear that. I don't need to hear you criticizing the scheme because, well, we run a Michigan style scheme at our school and they're running this. Like, no, not the same. Like everybody critiques how plays are called and whatnot, but like acting like you know what you're talking about and seeing, no, you're in high school, little kid. Okay. Not speaking the same language. I just, am I getting too old for this? Like, are we, I mean, were we once this annoying or were we always this annoying and now we're just realizing it as we get older?
No, Dan, we were in band. We would have never acted like we were athletes. We were in the marching band.
Great point. Because they're doing it with the tone like they're smarter than the players on the field are and the coaches on the field are.
Yeah.
Like you're not. You're simply not. Oh, Timmy could probably suit up there right now and make more catches than he could. No, Timmy couldn't. Timmy would get murdered right out there in that field. I'd like to take you all out there right now and just see you get blown up. And then you keep your mouth shut. Okay. I hated it.
Yeah, I'm picturing as you talk about Timmy is in the movie The Water Boy, they do like a scene where they cut to Sports Center and they talk about how other schools are experimenting with like other, people on the football and Michigan brings in the towel boy and he just gets like decapitated. That's what it would happen to Timmy. Yeah, it's like insulting. If you really think about it, like a lot of people just hear those comments in passing and don't think anything about it. But if you think about it, it's actually insulting to the people, both the players and the coaches who have to this point put their life's work into perfecting their craft. And I know you play Madden, but those two things are not the same.
Yes.
Like you guys, maybe you know this, maybe you don't. But one of the reasons why I run away from any sports opportunity at this point is because I hated talking to people like I knew what the hell I was talking about. And there are people who do that great. And that is not a diss to any of my friends who still work in sports and all of that. But it's just like, I did play-by-play for Arena Football. And I was with Ike Taylor and Mike Logan for most of those games. And I would say something that I thought I saw. And then they would tell me, no, in the nicest way, because they were both extremely nice people and I loved working with them. And they were like, no, you missed this, this, and that. And I'm like, how the fuck did you see that? It's it's because you've done this on the highest level. You've won Super Bowls.
Right.
Like, I've done none of that. I played football in the 7th and 8th grade. And most of the people you listen to on the radio did that or did less of that. So I completely understand how you feel, but I hate it more whenever older people talk about it. High schoolers, I'm like, you guys don't know how dumb you are. I'll deal with it. But when people who I know played football up to 12th grade and maybe they played 1 year and they're in their 30s or 40s now and they're talking about football as if they really played in the NFL or had any kind of chance to play freaking Division III football, those are the people that like grind my gears when you're sitting next to them at an event and they are talking about it. I'm like, oh.
Dude, I still hear those people like listening to sports talk radio, national, local, whatever it is, like call in, be like, I played baseball for 12 years. It's like, you can't count middle school and high school. Like don't give me that. And that's exactly what they're talking about. They're like, oh, where'd you play? Oh, I played Aliquippa. And, I've had a couple of tryouts after that. Get out of here. Get out of here. No, you didn't. I don't care how long it was. It wasn't to the same level. So you can't comment on it like you know what you're talking about.
The minute anyone drops their credentials is the minute I stop listening to them.
Right.
Dude. Jeez. The worst.
Over to you, Didi.
Oh, man. All right. I got to get this off my chest, guys. I went to see The Weeknd at SoFi Stadium, and it was an awesome show, and he's incredible. And that stadium is a lot of dirty shit went into making a $5 billion stadium, but it is, if you want to see a $5 billion stadium, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely incredible. But anyways, so leaving the stadium after this amazing show, everyone gets mad because we're getting out of there slowly. Okay. 75,000 people were at this show. All right. Everyone's getting angry after watching a great show, one of the biggest artists of this generation. Getting so mad because they're like, oh my God, it's escalator lines. People are mad. People are shoving. They're trying to get through all that. And I'm just like, to all the people who go to any of these shows, whether you go to a baseball stadium for a big show or any concert, anywhere, how else do you think 75,000 people are going to walk out of a stadium? Do you think it was going to be fast? Did you think you were going to teleport back to your car? Like, I don't understand why people can go from being so happy and so joyful, right? Blinding Lights was the last song. How does that song make anybody sad? Like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, we're walking out of the stadium and everyone is just angry. So people, going to concerts, just sit in your seat if you're one of those people who are just really angry. Whatever you don't want to be, just sit there. Just sit there and wait, and then you can walk right back out to your car, right? Wait a couple minutes. But like, to all the rest of you, just come on, guys. Just stop being mad. I don't understand it. Why? I just was looking around at people like, why are you so angry? How else did you think we were getting out of here? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
The newer the stadium is and the bigger it is, it doesn't mean you can get out of there any quicker. In fact, it'll probably take you longer if you've ever witnessed that. Because then they have like more gates and they're just smaller and then no one knows where to go. But I thought you were going to say you were running to the Uber lot and your Uber driver canceled and you pulled a little trick that you learned from someone across the street.
No, I didn't do that, but I came close to doing that at Harry Styles like a couple weeks ago. That was rough, but yeah.
I just don't go to that stuff, and it solves the problem. It's funny, not to bring it back to Pitt football, but like there are a lot of fans that root for the team that we root for that like I think secretly don't want Pitt to get too good, because if Pitt gets too good, then you have like a lot of traffic. It's harder to like move around in the seats. Takes longer to get out of the stadium. That West Virginia game, Didi, where I was coming out of my club, we exited the stadium with a lot of quite mad West Virginia fans who got even more mad because, as you said, we had 70,000 people at that one, and you didn't get out of there quickly. But what did you think? Leave early. You could leave early.
Yeah. You could leave early. You could sit in your seat and just wait until security guards like, hey, you can't sleep here. Get the fuck out. Like you could just do that. Like, I don't know. Just traffic and crowds and taking a long time to get out of the event is just something that's already in my head that you just have to do it. Like, I don't care what event you're going to. It's just what you got to do. But I'm with you on that with the whole, you're getting your team. You don't want your team to be too good because you don't want to deal with that all the time. I get that. That's why we're proud. That's why we're proud fans of teams that we're like very excited if they win 8 games. Everything else is great. So, righty. Well, let's drink, boys.
Yeah.
Brews Day. Chris, what you got?
I was in a rush, so I just grabbed one. I'll go very quickly that I've already had on the podcast before. It's Mellorillo. It's low alcohol content, and it kind of tricks me into feeling like it's still summer when it's very, very much not that here anymore. That's what I got.
Damn, that was sad. I'm sorry, Chris.
Yeah. So now that we've set the depressing tone, what are you guys drinking?
Gonna bring the mood a little bit back up after that sadness. My kid swam on Thanksgiving, which was freaking crazy.
Didi, why don't you just talk about beer?
All right. Well, anyways, I thought we were going to be talking about Truly with celebs today. So I broke out a Truly and it's still right here with me. So anyways, I'll break out another one for when we do talk about that topic. But anyways, strawberry lemonade Truly, one of the OG Trulies. Now there's like 8 million different kinds of Trulies. So anyways, yeah, it's always great. Always classic. Check it out.
The seltzer market, man, I'll tell you what.
Well,
it is hard to navigate.
It's starting to shrink. It's getting
oversaturated. Yeah.
The
people
seltzer,
realize they are not all going to stick around.
Yeah. Seltzerflation. I'm starting to see a lot of different seltzers now on super sale. So which means some of these things are starting to get discontinued. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you trying to coordinate that up with the topic. That one's going to be fun if and when we get to that in the near future. So For Bruce Day for me, gentlemen. We had quite a alarming situation here at the household where the beer fridge lost its life. The beer fridge lost its life. It was an old fridge in the garage, stocked with tons of beer. Unfortunately, end of life for it. So we're in a bit of a awkward transition right now.
You're just drunk all the time, aren't you? You got to drink all that beer.
Dude.
I don't have a lot of cold beer.
Did you lose a ton of beer? Like, how long did it take you to find out?
It was a few days.
Oh,
It was a few days. We feel like it was a few days, probably 3 to 4 days. So we don't quite know what's been lost yet. We know we're safe with most of stouts and dark beers and things like that. And so I didn't want to take too big of a gamble on that today because we're not sure if things are quite up to temperature with where they are and what we're doing. Keep your fingers crossed everybody out there. T's and P's for the beer that we have. But I do want to share a wonderful beer I had this past weekend, which was new, exciting, surprising to me. And it's from Skygazer Brewing Company out of North Haven, Connecticut. Is that the place with the good pizza? One of those places up there in Connecticut is like known for their pizza.
Connecticut style
Somewhere
pizza.
like that. Somewhere like that. Maybe it's not North Haven, but anyway, so Skygazer Brewing Company, and it was they have a series called Watercolors. It's their summer series, and I was able to stumble on their Watercolors margarita.
Ooh.
And yeah, and this thing, it was brewed with passion fruit, mango, lime, and blood orange.
This is a Daniel Dudley cocktail if I've ever heard one.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it was like, I was blown away. I was really blown away by this. It had a fairly low ABV too. Really well balanced. A good amount of that blood orange, which you kind of is a little bit of a really pleasant surprise when you see word like margarita. Good amount of mango. And it had just the right amount of that touch of that like lime and salt to give it that real kind of margarita feel. I mean, she was thick. She was orange. She was beautiful. And of course, the watercolors, the cans are beautiful as well there. So like your beer, like you like your women, thick and orange. Skygazer Watercolors margarita is for you.
My goodness.
Amazing.
We cheers to that. Is that what we do?
Cheers.
We cheers to that?
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
My. Oh my.
I truly love this podcast. All right. Well, one of the members of the Brunch Breakdown is doing something very big this week. Christopher Gates, you are building something. All I saw was a picture of that you posted, and it just had a bunch of shit. It's all a bunch of shit. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, so the big, I guess, Black Friday purchase that I made as it was a good year with the coaching business, and I've always wanted this type of piece of equipment. So I bought myself what's called a plate loaded functional trainer. What that is like, if you go into any commercial gym, there'll be those cable systems where like you could take 2 cables out wide, you can adjust the handles up and down, but at the same time, like you can do just one side or just the other side. You can do pull downs, you can do rows from the ground, you can do horizontal, like you can do basically everything that you can't do if you only have a barbell or dumbbells. I've essentially turned my basement into a my own mini commercial gym, which I'm very, very excited about. But whoa, boy, this thing sucks to build. Today was day 5. I'm happy to report I finished it this afternoon. I was like working on it while I was training today, and it was not a very efficient training session, but it was we got the job done. I'll show you what this thing looks like. And if you're listening and you're not watching, you can go over to our whatchamacallit, YouTube, and check this out. But that's you can see that right there. That's the finished product. Okay. That's what it looks like. But I want to show you, that's basically what DD saw as a picture.
Oh.
Like,
There's what's like the count on the parts. So basically, if you're listening and not watching, it's got all of these parts laid out in this diagram, and they're all numbered.
These are all the parts.
oh my God.
There's,
And there's
74
Oh.
unique pieces, but of those 74 pieces, like some of them, there are like 16 pieces of
Right,
item
the
number
quantity is much
52.
higher.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
quantity is probably like 200 pieces. So it was a lot. And I guess like the thing that tripped me up the most was like, you build it. Building the rack wasn't that bad, but this shit with like putting pulleys into it was ridiculous.
Look at the
And
numbers and the lines on this thing.
This is what it took me like 3 to 4 hours to build the rack, and then it took me 3 to 4 days to do these damn pulleys. So there's that pulley, there's this pulley, and then there's this pulley. Yeah.
Honest, dude, I don't.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
What was the worst part about the like directions? Was there something that specifically frustrated you about what was something missing, or they like didn't spell something out correctly or diagram it well enough?
Yeah, the diagrams were pretty good until you got to the pulleys, and then because it's like you have to like, where the pulleys, like they come down and they come right back up and they're right next to each other. And it's very, very difficult to figure out like which way is it going, right? Because you have to like bend it all the way through, and then it kind of has to come back the same way it went, but to the other side. So that was super confusing. I will say, thank God for YouTube, because I actually didn't follow the directions from the supplier at all. What I did was look up other people who have done this stuff and thankfully put videos on YouTube to walk you through it. For the pulley thing, some guy put like a 15-minute video on YouTube that showed exactly how he did it, and that's how I figured out how to do it. So shout out to like the common folk for helping. And that's like how everybody learns how to do stuff these days, right?
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, there looked like a lot of words and numbers and diagrams on those instructions, and it makes me think of like IKEA, where they're like usually missing a lot of information, and it's usually just like stick figures, and of course they don't have every language on there. It's Swedish, so it's I'll give you a couple of words. That looked like the exact opposite. Like you need somewhere sweet in the middle. How have we not, like, you're right, YouTube videos are great, but you're often having to like watch, pause, rewind, watch, pause. Have we not TM on all this, by the way? This is already in development. It's ours now. I need some sort of like software that it's like a 3-dimensional software that gives you step-by-step directions for something like this, where you can rotate it and you can like press play and it'll like show you just like a loop of what the next step needs to be or where this needs to. And so you don't have to pause anything. You just click next, And again, give me something 3-dimensional that I can kind of spin around, and then you can like show me the motion without me having to pause, rewind, go back, just repeat it in a loop. Just, that's the future, people. It's there.
I like that.
It's ours now, but
that would have been very helpful. The amount of times that I had to unlock my phone to go and rewind YouTube 15 seconds, my God, it was ridiculous.
Helpful,
no matter
but
how
that's
long,
annoying.
Yeah, I wasn't going to set my screen to like never go to sleep, because I want my phone to last more than an hour. So yeah, that's super frustrating.
At what point did you think to yourself, I need to call someone?
Today was when that happened. Because like there's 3 different cables. And I put the first 2 cables in and I was like, okay, that should work the side part. Let me just like see how it goes. And I pulled and nothing worked. And I'm like, this is bad. This is what if I put the last one on and it doesn't work? Then what do I do? Luckily though, when I put the last one on, which kind of makes sense, the last piece to the puzzle is what brought it all together, and it did. But I was thinking with the whole cable thing, I was like, is there like, can I Google cable specialist in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania?
Dude, we have like one of those 4-sided at-home gyms down in our garage, and some of it is on pulley systems. And to move it from it was coming from my mom's house to our house, and they had to take some of it apart and didn't put it back together. And so it was, I can't imagine starting from nothing, because having to like reassemble some of those pulley systems to make them work was an absolute nightmare. It took me a lot longer than it should have, because it was just like, where are these cables going? I don't know.
Yeah. And I've thought about that, Dan, because like long-term in our house, we want to build some area here that is like an office and a gym for my coaching business. And I thought like, it's going to be, that's years away. But when that happens, that's going to suck, because that thing can't fit through a normal door.
Right.
I've honestly thought like, when we do that, should we just like get a new sliding glass door for the basement at the same time so we can take it out?
Yeah, honestly, versus taking that apart.
Yeah, I saw all those pieces, and all I thought about was like, when you're done with this, because this is my problem. I am not handy. Anybody who listens to this podcast knows I am not handy at all, right? I call somebody out to do everything.
No.
Pretty much all the time, unless my wife does it because she's the handy person. But even sometimes she hits her limit. And I've put some stuff together, but then when I put it together, I am afraid to use it. Have you used it yet? Were you afraid to use it? Like when you went to pull, were you like, oh God, this thing's all going to come crashing down? Because that's how I would be. I would be like shaking, like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Like throwing up Hail Marys and shit, just like hoping things worked.
Yeah, 100%. Because like when I tried it, when you build something like this, it's best practice is don't tighten everything all the way, because if you find out that you screwed something up, it's going to be that much harder to loosen everything. So like I tried it while basically all the nuts and bolts were like just barely fastened. And I was nervous, like, because there's a pull-up bar too. So the biggest one that I was nervous of is like, okay, I'm just going to like lift my feet up and see if this holds me. Luckily it did. But that was definitely scary.
Yeah, like Shannon and I like really we're kind of interested and fascinated by the tonal system. I mean, you see LeBron James promoting them, but those get attached to the wall, directly to the wall. That first time, I can't imagine we ever get one of those. I'm like, this is coming off the wall. I'm going down with it. Drywall's coming right off. Be scared to death for that. That always worries me when I think about like, man, I don't know if I should do that.
Yeah, it looks so good in the commercials, but like,
right.
Are there videos on YouTube of people like just blowing open their walls?
Dude, it's funny you mentioned that, because we constantly talk about putting a Murphy bed in this new office, right? Just like that'll just be the guest room, like whatever. And we're gonna end up doing it, but like there are all these things online that like just say it's really easy for you to do it yourself. You can install it yourself. And I'm like, the last thing that I want is for one of our parents to be here and the bed just comes off the wall. So absolutely not. I'm 1000% not installing a Murphy. I don't care how easy you show me. I don't care if you show me like a class of kindergartners putting this thing together. I am not, some professional is coming out and making sure that this thing is going to stay up. Like, I'm not doing that.
That's a big one. That's a big project.
Like, no way. Good God. Well, Chris, I'm happy we talked about this, and I'm happy that you now have the thing that's in every hotel and apartment gym. You basically have a hotel and apartment gym in your basement.
I have literally, although I will say, I say this every time I get a new piece of equipment. At this point, I think I have literally everything that I need. We'll see what happens next Black Friday, though. I don't know.
It's impossible. No, you don't. No, you don't. We know what your goals are, Chris. We know you're competing with The Rock in your head. So we know. We know what you want. We know. Oh man. All right. Well, let's get into another topic we have today. Build your own fast food lineup. This should be some fun, boys. Found this on who found this? Who found it?
I think I did. I think I found this. I found this on Twitter somewhere.
Well, go for it, man.
I should credit who I found this with. But so yes, this is a build your own fast food lineup for you're given $21. Okay. And we won't give you everything again, if you're just listening, because there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 items on here. But they are categorized. You have, sandwich or taco is the first category, bites, specialties, fries, sides, drinks, and dessert. And then, of course, things are broken down in dollar elements of $5, $4, $3, $2, $1. The only stipulation is you must pick something from each category. Now, $21 is quite a bit of money here, so you're gonna have to pick a couple things from each category to get up to $21, fellas. And so we're talking fast food from really all across the country, just to give you people an idea. McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out, Whataburgers on here, KFC, Sonic, Wendy's, of course, the classics. So it's a little bit of everything, a lot of categories, a lot of dollar amounts. Some are debatable. We won't get into that. We could probably have a whole other topic on, are some of these worth what the dollar figures were given here? But gentlemen, building your own fast food lineup, $21 in your pockets. Either of you are you ready to kick this off?
Let's start it. So should we just go by category and we'll all just pick?
Well, you're gonna have to pick, multiple in each category.
Good God. This is difficult. Dan, start.
So I'll start. I'll give you my rundown. Rundown.
Go for it.
So for $21, I'm coming out with a Chick-fil-A sandwich, which is worth $5. A Wendy's Frosty, which is worth $4. In-N-Out animal style fries, also worth $4. Arby's curly fries, worth $3. Might see a trend here. Arby's beef and cheddar, worth $2. 3 Taco Bell tacos, worth $2. And finishing off with a Wendy's spicy nugget for only $1. So that gets me to 21. Chick-fil-A sandwich, Wendy's Frosty, In-N-Out animal style fries, Arby's curly fries, Arby's beef and cheddar, 3 Taco Bell tacos, and a Wendy's spicy nugget for $21. You know what I just realized that this came from? It came from that guy that was on that one of those cable news stations that said he went to Taco Bell for lunch and it cost him $21 because of inflation. Some shit like that. That's where this is stemming from, of what you can actually buy for $21. Because this is a lot of food. This is a lot of food for 2 people. It's a lot of food. So that's how I spread the wealth there. Big fan of Arby's. So you notice no burger for me there. No burger.
I just can't ever imagine in life getting like a majority of my food from Arby's and then also throwing in tacos from Taco Bell for a meal. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong, Dan. I'm just saying like this is a little bit over the top.
It's a little strange variety. Yeah, because it's such a wide variety, it's strange to consider this as one meal. It's certainly not.
So you have to pick one from each of the categories on the left, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Did I? Maybe I didn't even follow that rule.
Yeah, you didn't follow that rule. So I guess you don't have to follow that rule because Dan did not follow it.
Oh, well, I'm following.
I missed one.
You're good at following directions, Chris. We just found this out. So
wow.
Yeah. You know. Dan, please refer to the pulley directions on how to.
And I freaking
So the way I approached this was I was like, all right, what $1 items are in my wheelhouse? And I'll tell you, every time I went to Subway in college, I got 3 of those chocolate chip cookies. So I'm getting a Subway cookie. That's $1. And I absolutely love Sonic's cherry limeade. That's another $1. So 2 off the board already for just $2. I don't get to eat In-N-Out a lot, so I'm going with the double of In-N-Out. That takes me to $6. As I guess past that, hey, another $1 item that I love, Wendy's spicy nuggets, $7. So I have 3 categories left, and I could live basically like a king, boys. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the Taco Bell Crunch Wrap because apparently I want diarrhea from this meal. We're gonna go up to $12 with that. That means I have $9 left for fries and sides. You know, I think I'm going to go with the Culver's cheese curds because you can't get those everywhere. I do love them. So that's going to take me to, where am I at now? $17. I have $4 left. I kind of want to just go with Arby's curly fries and give $1 to Didi so that he can have $22 for his meal. Because I love Arby's curly fries. Like this was easy for me. I picked everything that I enjoy and I got $1 left, man. So after this meal, I'm going through the dollar menu at McDonald's. Let's go.
Dude, some of the where they have the prices on here are just so wrong because it shouldn't be this easy. Like putting Popeye's tenders at $2, people literally fight for Popeye's tenders.
It's like Monopoly.
Yeah.
Like legitimately chase their uncles down the street with a gun for Popeye's tenders. So anyways, all right. So mine, 3 tacos, Taco Bell, $2. Got the Popeye's tenders for $2. Got the Taco Bell Crunch Wrap for $5. I have the In-N-Out animal style fries. I was like, where'd they go? Animal style fries are $4. Then you can't have fast food, or at least I can't have fast food without a Sprite because I love Sprite. And I don't even drink Sprite that much, but I do when I have fast food because I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's drink some pop today. Sprite, $4 there. And then we got the $4 hash brown because McDonald's hash browns, come on. Nothing's better than that. And then for $2, and then and that's it. I think I have that's it. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, and then $2. That's it. I jumped out of order in my order that I had. So yeah, Crunch Wrap, Taco Bell tacos, In-N-Out, fries, Sprite, hash brown, Popeye's tenders, $21. Bam.
Boom. All right, I fixed mine. I fixed mine. I can't even read direction for something I don't provide. For crying out loud.
Done. The only category I didn't use was the dessert one. That's the only one I didn't use.
Hey, Didi, I'll give you my extra $1 and you can get a Subway cookie. How's that sound?
Dude, thank you. White macadamia nut. Done.
Tell you what, people help.
Good pick.
People help.
Good pick. Good pick. Sandwich or taco? Give me 3 Taco Bell tacos for $5. Bites. That's not changing. Those Wendy's spicy nugs for about $1. Keeping it there. Specialties. Arby's beef and cheddar. $2. Give me 6 of them. No, I'm kidding, but you could. Take the rest of my money. I don't care. Fries. Arby's curly fries. Not changing that either. That's $3 item. Arby's curly fries. That's staying there. Sides. This was the category I was missing. I got to go Mickey D's hash browns here too. I've never had Jack in the Box mini tacos. I feel like I probably wouldn't like them anyways. KFC's got some banging mashed potatoes, but I'm going McDonald's hash browns. That's a $4 item. So that made me kind of readjust some things. Chick-fil-A sweet tea, $2 for my drink. And I'm keeping the Wendy's Frosty. There's some other phenomenal dessert items on there, but I'm willing to shed a couple bucks for the $4 Wendy's Frosty.
I like it. Fast food lineup. You find your fast food lineup. Yeah. Let us know what you're picking at Brunch Breakdown. All right. Chris, emergency brunch court. What you got?
Oh, yeah. So I was walking through the grocery store the other day, and I'll be honest with you guys, one of my favorite snacks of all time are Cheez-Its, okay? But there's a lot of varieties of Cheez-Its. I was not aware of all of them until I walked through the grocery store, and I took a long, hard look at the Cheez-It aisle because Cheez-Its should basically have their own aisle at this point. There's so many different varieties. And I saw this. Cheez-It Duos, bacon and cheddar. Before I give my opinion, because I have a very I have one. I'm invested in Cheez-Its. Cheez-It Duos, bacon and cheddar. What do you guys think? We love mashups here on Brunch Court.
Listen,
yeah,
this sounds like it would be delicious because my kids love Cheez-Its. Like Major would literally eat Cheez-Its for every single meal of the day if he could. Loves Cheez-Its. And so we have them around. And cheddar and bacon, this sounds great. Haven't had it, but this sounds amazing.
I know they've done some of these duos before, but this, I mean, I don't understand how it could get any better than this. If you hit the bacon flavor correctly, bacon and cheddar I'm grabbing a couple boxes. I'm safely grabbing a couple boxes of this because this sounds phenomenal.
Interesting. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this
at all.
Cool. Yeah, I don't like. So the experience. Let's talk about the Cheez-It experience. Okay, when you buy a box of Cheez-Its, some of the boxes of Cheez-Its are great. Some of them, admittedly, aren't. For whatever reason, when you get a box of Cheez-Its, sometimes like the Cheez-Its will have a ton of those like flavor things, dust sprinkles, whatever you want to call them, on the Cheez-Its themselves. So, and then every once in a while you get a box where there's like none. And you're just eating squares that have barely any flavor. But so
you're eating its. Those are just the its.
Fantastic, Dan. That is exactly right. You have a box of its. Now, with this, I don't like the idea that I'm reaching into a box and could get one or the other, and I don't know which one it's going to be. Like I want to know what I'm getting. I don't want to be expecting cheddar and then get bacon in my mouth. Okay. I don't want to be expecting bacon and then get cheddar in my mouth and they're in a mixed box all together. I want, like, maybe if there was down the middle of the box, we had them separated so that I could get an equal amount of the two, pop them in my mouth and get the flavor that I'm looking for. That would be great. I don't believe that's how this is structured. So I have a problem with the structure, gentlemen. And that's why I'm just not a fan of this. I like my Cheez-It experience to be a bit more predictable.
I'm down for the surprise. And down for just having them both, at the same time.
Yeah,
I'm in on this.
The surprise to me is like walking out of a stadium with 75,000 people on TV. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't like it.
I have an ironically adjacent Brunch Court. I didn't think it was necessarily Brunch Court worthy, but it fits in line. Chris, you're Mr. Cheez-It. New extra toasty cheddar jack Cheez-Its are also now in stores. It says new toasty, extra toasty cheddar jack flavor. I don't know what any of that means. I feel like they throw words like extra and toasty around and like they don't really do anything. The box looks the exact same, except it just says new toasty, extra toasty cheddar jack all over it. So if you find those, let us know at Brunch Breakdown what those are like. And Chris, I mean, I don't think you shouldn't get many its in this box if they're extra, read all about it. So check those out. See if you find those next time.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't Cheez-It. They're doing a little bit too much, if I'm being honest. They're doing a little bit too much. Now they're doing like Cheez-It.
You saying puffed. Stay in your lane, Cheez-It?
Yeah, Cheez-It puffs are like trying to take over the cheese ball market. Yeah. Like, let's just can we control things? Last thing I'll say, the only regret I have from this surprise Brunch Court is that I did not put my hand in the picture, like I always think Dan
should have.
Classic.
Big miss. All right, well, let's get into music. What's everybody listening to this week? Dan, what do you got?
Boys, we haven't had a whole lot of like good EDM on this playlist in a while, I feel. And I found a really good song this week. Dioro, Nico and Sway, featuring Kiara, put out a song called Help Me. And, it's that time of year. Get back out there, get dancing, burn off those extra calories from Thanksgiving and what you got coming up with the holidays, and just do a little dancing. And this song is going to help. Again, we have, get a little good EDM flavor on the Sounds of Brunch. So the song is called Help Me, Diaro, Nico, Sway, Kiara. Check it out.
Nice. All right. Well, this one's going to be a little weird because Chris put this on the playlist last week, but none of us had listened to it yet. Olivia O'Brien's EP is really good. Never Be the One is about, as I've been singing that song for the past like 4 days. So, yeah, just, I don't know what you do with the playlist of that. Just throw Never Be the One up. Just put it with the new music.
Just reshuffle it up to
because
the new group.
God damn it, dude. That is a freaking damn good and well-written song. Listen to the lyrics of that song too. Like, it's a great song.
Didi would like to boost that post, Dan, if you could.
Yeah.
Yes.
My first one, it's a song I just randomly heard today, and I really liked it. It's called Antifreeze by Aldrich and Ryan Lehan. I don't know who those people are, but it is like it's a really nice balance of the newish pop punk thing that's happening, but also like almost like some Hello Goodbye electro pop vibes kind of put together in one song. I liked it a lot, and that's my first pick.
Nice.
Next up for me, The Regrets. And if you're not on board with The Regrets yet, like now's the time. I'm calling everybody back. Get on board with The Regrets. They're phenomenal. Love their sound. They had a song come off their deluxe edition of Further Joy. The song is called Dummy, and you're a dummy if you haven't heard and liked The Regrets yet. So I've become a real big fan of their sound, and frankly, anything that they're putting out has been fantastic. So if you're into alt pop and you like that style of music, and you don't know the regrets yet, you will regret it.
I saw this kid open up for Chelsea Cutler, Arden Jones. I knew nothing about him before. This song stuck with me, and then when I listened to it, I was like, oh man, this song's actually really good. Excited to see what happens with this kid. But Bad for Me is the song, and the chorus of the song is so good. So if you don't like what's happening when you first play this, just wait till the chorus, please. Wait till the chorus. That's all I ask you. Just for me, do a favor. Wait for the chorus. Arden Jones, Bad for Me.
Nice. My next one is a song that features Magnolia Park, and I just love Magnolia Park. So when they're on something or put out something new, I'm gonna put it on our playlist. The song's called Catastrophe, and I love the lead artist on this song. This is one word. Pop Tropical Sluts. That's the other artist, and it ends with an exclamation point. So look them up, him up, her up. I don't know, but I like the song. Give it a listen.
Love it. I'm already on board. Okay, last one for me is by a group called Beach Weather. They're an alternative group that has become fairly popular in those circles. So if you're an alternative kind of rock fan, you've heard of Beach Weather. They actually have a song out right now called Sex, Drugs, Etc. that's getting tons and tons of plays, becoming very popular. But they released another song a few weeks back called Trouble with This Bed, and I actually like this song a little bit better. So if you're a fan of that type of sound or haven't heard of Beach Weather yet, check out Trouble with This Bed.
Nice. All right. Last one. The Weeknd, Less Than Zero. It's off his album Dawn FM that came out in January of last year, and that song live was just incredible. And I mean, good God, I love that song so much. So anyways, Less Than Zero, The Weeknd.
Nice. My last one is an oldie, a goodie, a throwback, Fat Lip by Sum 41. And the reason being, this may be a topic for a future episode, gentlemen. If I could live in a movie, it would be American Pie 2 because of the soundtrack. And so this song makes me think of that movie, of that time in life when things seem to be, I don't know, simpler. We'll go with simpler.
Simpler.
Simpler is good. Simple is good. Simple plan.
Yeah. So what's the future topic?
If you could live in any movie, what movie would it be?
Okay.
And I mean, I think we'll obviously, we would all choose Die Hard, so we'll just take that one off the list. And what's your next choice?
That's
ineligible. Fair.
That's fair.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Well, that is what we are listening to. Boys, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Have you guys watched Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh my God, it's my favorite Christmas movie.
I've never watched it. I'm gonna watch it, and
wow.
maybe we could talk about it on a future episode. I said Die Hard, and it made me think of that.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's peak Arnold and peak Sinbad. Like,
yeah,
it's I mean, it's a time capsule. Like, it's something else. Like, there's no internet. It's amazing. Like, just all the things that will go through your head when you watch that movie, because it is so different now than it was back then.
I'm ready for it.
Kindergarten Cop was on TV not that long ago. When we watched it, she had never seen it before. I was like, sit down, we're watching this. And I forgot how great that movie is. So I'm all for Arnold right now. Jingle all the way, baby.
That's another topic that we will talk about on that we'll talk about in a future episode. I don't want to get into it now, but anyways, boys, this has been fun. This has been fun.
I can't wait for the Brunch Breakdown board game to come out. Let's go.
It's the Brunch Breakdown. We're out.